Great to get a win. I know our guys are fired up. I think, they're fired up downstairs. This team, I don't know any team in the country maybe that's appreciating a win more than our guys of what we've been through to lose 3 games this year on the final play of the game. And make some plays at the end to win the game. Our guys were juiced up, fired up, and loving it. I'm really, really happy for our guys. We played, I think we got a lot of things we can improve on, but a lot of guys made some great plays during the course of the game to win the game today. Feels good. Feels good. We got a tough closing stretch here on the schedule, but it feels good to head into that on a win.
Yeah, a couple weird plays, 2 touchdowns taken off the board. One, the pass interference on Jordan Thomas, and then the helmet pops off. And Nick, what did the officials explain on both of those plays to you?
Yeah. Pass interference, I don't know, but the whatever. I'm sure we'll talk about it with the league office again, and there'll be another discussion about this week again with them. But the helmet come off that was the right call. It's just one of those. It's been that type of year for us, to be perfectly honest with you, where a helmet comes off one play during the game, it comes off on a hit. I don't know. Guys upstairs that look like they grabbed his helmet to pull it off, which then has to be called a penalty. They said nobody on the field saw that. We've actually been the benefit of that. I think right before that rule came out, we won a huge game here on the opposite call of that against Georgia about 7 years ago. I think, helmet popped off, and then he fumbled. And the play in the current rules would have been ruled dead. But that's just one of those fluke plays. And that was the right call for sure. You look at the replay, his helmet was off, and the ball hadn't crossed the plane, so the ball is immediately blown dead when the ball carrier's helmet comes off.
Did you know that they could review when the play, I guess, is dead at that point?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. That's a reviewable play. When the helmet comes off, just say, the play's dead at that moment. If the ball carrier, if another player's helmet come off, they can't participate in the rest of the play. But the ball carrier, the play goes immediately dead for safety reasons, which is a good rule, and they got that call right.
Is this one of those games as a head coach where you're happy with the way the offense performed and disappointed with the defense?
I'm disappointed with certain things on the defense that we got to look and get cleaned up. We had way too many missed tackles to me. That was really disappointing in the back end. But we knew they were a good offense, a super high-tempo offense, going to throw the ball all over the place. We got to clean up some of our tackling. We got to be able to get off the field on third down defensively. But I'm happy there are times in the game we made some really big plays on defense. And you got younger players or guys starting to make some big plays, that really picks up the spirit of the team.
Talking about the offense, Fitzgerald, DeGray for 3 touchdowns today. Could you talk about that connection and just why they were so successful today?
On the what's that now?
Oh, Fitzgerald DeGray. They had 3 touchdowns. Just talk about that connection.
Well, I give Fitz credit. 2 of them he threw. Big time passes. He hit him in stride on the sideline. Donald, was able to break free, run away, and Fitz dropped the ball in beautifully. The last one. I think after 2, he felt pretty good. He was just going to launch one up there and see what Donald could do, and Donald made a great adjustment on the ball, come back to get it, make a play to score. So I think, but Donald, Donald's been a big play guy for us, and he certainly was that today. At 4 catches, 207 yards is a big day.
Was that the kind of game that you anticipated Fitz having all season long? Running and throwing and doing everything for you guys?
Yeah, some of the runs, probably a couple of scrambles. You know what I mean? I don't have a sack or 2 on here. I don't know. I don't have the sack count. But we're going to take what they give us. If you look, the running backs had more carries than he did. We just, mixing them up, giving some guys some opportunities to go make different plays out there on the field. And if you look at it, it was all pretty balanced for the other guys running the football right now. But I'd like the backs to get a couple more carries, but sometimes we don't control that. Some of the reads that they give us, Fitz is going to make the read.
Ross with his 9th 100 receiving yard game, most in school history. Can you just talk a little bit about what he's kind of meant to this program?
Well, a lot. Fred believed in what we were doing here, came here. He's got a tremendous work ethic in what he does and constantly works. Very, very much a student of the game. Knows knows all the different situations, what's going on, why things are happening on the field. And he's going to leave one of the most decorated receivers in school history. You know what I mean? And made a great decision to come back for his senior year and continue to improve for his career. And you're going to look at the accolades he's going to get because of that.
Some of the guys after the UMass win said they didn't feel good about it because it was UMass. Kind of a similar opponent. Why different this time around?
Well, I think just a lot of what these guys are. You know, these guys have been here. Majority of the guys in this locker room have been here for a lot of wins. You know, been around for a lot of wins, but not involved in the wins. They haven't been the guys on the field winning the game. You know, majority of our team is freshmen and sophomores. You know, and some redshirt freshmen, redshirt sophomores. These guys haven't played a lot, and they're getting first meaningful playing time this year. But 19 wins over the last 2 seasons. You know, whether they're on a scout team or maybe playing a special team. There are a lot of expectations to win, and I think what they got into is, we should just beat everybody that we play. And you can't do that. You have to go actually win the game yourself. You have to go make the plays out on the field to go win. And I realized that after the UMass game. I didn't, you know, I think we necessarily played real well game 1. We played well game 2, and guys were kind of juiced. And then, you know, we play a team and we win a game in a tough, you know, kind of a tough game, and guys, you know, weren't juiced about it. And that's a bad job by me of making sure our guys really appreciate winning football games. It is hard to win football games, right? I mean, ask 50% of the people that play them today how hard it is to win. And you know what? And if you can't enjoy winning, boy, I mean, that's an awful lot of work to not even enjoy winning a game is not a way to be.
Coach, you mentioned those sophomores and freshmen that make up a ton of your team. Jeffrey Simmons seems like he made a couple of key plays tonight to help stifle that defense, to help slow down Sanford. Can you explain about his development over the season and how he's starting to grow and develop as a player?
Yeah, he's learning. He's learning technique. You know, a lot of these guys are. You know, Jeffrey's learning to use technique and to be able to make some plays within the defensive scheme. Jeffrey, you know, I mean, he's a freshman. Leo's a freshman. Those guys are out there making massive contributions in the middle of our defense. You know, and you know, I mean, Fletcher Adams, I thought really kind of made some plays, you know, was right there getting the quarterback off the spot. He's a freshman. You know, I mean, all these guys are learning how to play, how to strain it, and hopefully how to make plays, and especially key moments of the game.
Speaking of the defense, what were the conversations like in between series?
You know, just making sure we got the adjustments right for what they're doing. You know, one of the tricky things is I'm on real quick because I'm back calling the plays on offense, so I got to get off between series and call some plays on offense. So, you know, but just what are our adjustments? How are we handling it? What are we doing to make a change? And, you know, do we have the right guys on the field in the right situations to help them make plays?
A.J. Jefferson and Jamal Peters weren't able to go today. What time or what point during the week did you know that they weren't going to be able to play?
Well, I mean, our trainers, you know, they do a great job, so they're always hopeful there's a chance. So, you know, I mean, it was, I think yesterday that they are really you know, Jamal probably Thursday because he didn't practice all week, and so he's not ready to go. A.J. being an older veteran guy that's played a lot of football, really last night. They just said he's just not going to be ready for today. So hopefully we get him back, get both those guys back next week.
Yeah, just how has it been this year with all the injuries that you've kind of had?
Well, it's challenging, you know, when you're already really young and then you compound tons of injuries onto your team. It bodes well for the guys that are experienced for the future, I guess. But it's tough now. But guys are getting opportunities, you know, and part of life, you're given opportunities in life, and what you do with those opportunities will define who you are.
I think DeAndre Ward gets an interception, then 2 plays later, Sanford scores. What's happening on those big plays that kind of, you know, big momentum changes?
Well, you got. I mean, there's a lot. You have missed assignments. You have a guy going the wrong way, guy not getting off a block, guy missing a tackle. You know, I think it was, where is it? Yeah, they scored, and then they have a 68-yard run. So it was 2 plays of a 68-yard run, and then one play they and then hit a pass play. So you know, by that, I mean, you look at the opportunities we had. You know, we get an interception, we fumble the interception away. We have the freak helmet pop off on the goal line. I mean, really should have probably had some more points put on the board. miss a field goal late in the game, and but we need to score touchdowns in those situations. And we go into the red zone twice and come out empty-handed twice. You can't do that. So. But it is. If there's one again, it's always if there's one thing, it's easy. When you have young players out there, first time seeing stuff, it's them making sure, trusting the reads, being in the right situations, and their experience and reaction to the ball of their ability to make plays. We have some head scratching plays too on the field still. We have guys make great plays, and you'll have a guy make a great play and they'll run the same play against the same defense the next time or a couple plays later, and you'll just be scratching that head like we just do something totally different, and it's the discipline and mental toughness of doing it right every single time.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah.
Ashton Shumpert got, by and large, most of his yardage early on in the game,
Yeah.
mostly in the first quarter. Do you feel like as the game progressed, he kind of hit a wall against the Sanford defense?
No, we were just rotating the running backs in there, and he had 7 carries. Harris had 8. Nick had 4. D. Lee had a carry. Mixon 5, and Malik 1. We're just mixing the carries up with guys.
Seems like every time Fitz gets hit, he just pops right back up and gets back in the huddle, and he took some big shots today. Just
Yeah, he's a
what
big
can you
guy.
say about his toughness?
He's a big guy, Listen, if you ain't tough, you ain't playing quarterback for me. So that's right. Mental, physical toughness is number one trait of playing quarterback at Mississippi State. So not throwing or running or doing anything else. Mental, physical toughness is trait number 1 that we look for in quarterbacks.
What made you attack down the field so often today? I know there were a few to Gray and some to Ross.
Coming into the game, one of the things we're looking at offensively or frustrated was our lack of explosive plays, 12-yard plus plays. And so a lot of times you want to sit there and say, oh, well, guys aren't making a big play out there on the field or this or that. But, and then maybe I'm not calling enough of them and to give them those opportunities. So we want to attack them down the field a little bit and take some shots. And our guys, the great thing is when we took them, they executed them really well.
What's kind of confidence level in Weston Graves right now?
Well, he kicked a lot of extra points tonight. So, we'll look at it when it comes to field goals. So, but those guys, same deal. We got to make big plays at big moments of the games. It's easy when there's it's making the big play at the key moment of the game. And I think a lot of places on the field we did that today. And we got to make sure, both in the kicking and the punting and the kickoff game, we're doing those things. And all of the kicking game, our coverage, our returns, everything at key moments of the game. We got in the kicking game, we have to be ready to make those big plays at those key moments.
When you look at that November schedule coming up, maybe one of the toughest stretches of any team in the conference and things. Is there anything in particular that you're concerned with, having such a young team with all the injuries and things, going through that November murderer's row?
No, I don't know if anybody has a tougher stretch in the college football this season. But we'll see. That's what's fun. That's what playing in the SEC is all about, that challenge of going to play great teams every single week. And so we're going to enjoy this win tonight, and we'll get to work on Texas A&M. And trust me, we'll take it one game at a time. I don't think we'll be overlooking anybody over the next couple of weeks. We're going to try to take it one game at a time.
I think 3 out of the last 4 of the last 5 opponents have scored at least 30 points. How concerned are you about that trend?
Yeah, we gotta. It's concerning because we gotta make plays. But to me, it's some different things. Whether it's tackling, whether it's getting off the field on third down. There's some different things, and just I think even trying to simplify, and we still make some critical mistakes. But like I said, we've had so many injuries this year. New guys are going in, they're getting chances, and so a lot of times they're making mistakes, and we just got to keep coaching them and getting them fixed.